The United Kingdom-based Privy Council has denied an application for permission to appeal by 47-year-old Jamaican businessman Stephen Caswell, who was convicted for the takeout of his girlfriend at her home located at Oakland Apartments. You know what? I remember this case so clearly because that is a place that I was going like every day. You understand? It was a big thing. Never forget that case, man. I know all the apartment and exactly where she fall, everything. It was crazy situation. There is many rumors of all sorts. That man was something else. Caswell was found guilty by a juror in 2016 for killing 28-year-old Nadia Mitchell in 2008. He was sentenced in October 2016 to life imprisonment and ordered to serve 20 years before he is eligible for parole. Caswell will now have to continue serving that sentence since his application was denied. Mitchell's body was found in the yard of the gated apartment complex in July 2008 with 27 injuries, 19 of which were afflicted before she died. Prosecutors Paula Llewellyn and Yanni Gardner Brown painted Caswell at the trial as a scorned, obsessive, and controlling lover and described his relationship with Mitchell as a fatal attraction. At the time of her death, Mitchell was in another relationship after ending her romance with Caswell. Caswell had admitted visiting the deceased at her apartment on the night of the incident. He said that he and the deceased had a fight and that she stormed out of the apartment. Caswell said he later found her lying motionless in the yard and took her to the hospital. In expressing sorrow at her death, he said at the trial that he was not responsible for the takeout, which he described as an unfortunate and tragic situation. He appealed against his conviction, but the Court of Appeal ruled in November 2020 that there was no basis on which the conviction ought to be disturbed. He then applied to the Privy Council for leave to appeal, but his application was denied in October this year. There is no appeal as of right based on the Constitution. Permission to appeal should be refused. There is no risk that a serious miscarriage of justice may have occurred. The Privy Council ruled when it refused Caswell's application on October the 3rd. Just to not add too much to this situation, but remember that Mitchell was found under her window from her apartment, and I think her apartment was like the third floor, and she was found below her window on the third floor. Now, how did she get there? It was one crazy scene. I can never forget it. Because it would have been crazy to say, based on what he said, that okay, they had an argument and they were fighting in the apartment. She walked out of the apartment and did what? Walk around exactly under her window from the third floor of her apartment and lie down underneath it injured? Nah, that's definitely was not the case. You know, one of the things that I find very appalling and very common these days is that the young people doesn't seem to have any hope of having a better life. They are just throwing their lives away for no good reasons. Why does it spell sense to do a crime where most likely you will get caught, and it's crime that you are doing over and over again? Maybe one time you go out to do the same crime, somebody might take you out instead. There is no thought or directive in what they are doing, because clearly they are not thinking about the future. Them just thinking about today. Like, yo, me live and sit today, so today me I work with. Because if you check it, most of the youths then that been held for crime, they really don't even pass 25 years old. You are from 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. You know, the age is so young. And you find more and more parents are burying the youths when it was not meant to be like that. As opposed to children supposed to bury them parents. There is something going on, and I think we need to take a check of the homes these children are coming from, because you can't tell me say you're coming from a home that is talking about standards, ambition, hopes, where you want to be in 10 years and pushing towards that goal. Yes, we know things hard and times hard, but through organizing you will get to where you want. It takes a lot of sacrifices. You can't watch everybody else that might be seemingly getting things done. Their life and their journey is different. Everyone's life and them journey is different. Some have it harder than some, and I want to tell you too, you have some people have it harder, so them know to appreciate it. So when they get it good. And the ones you're seeing having it easy, generally sometimes they take advantage of the situation and don't appreciate it, so they don't really get to reach their full potential. So you can't sit and watch other people what they're doing. You young people have to have a plan for full life. You don't want to have children, have a decent home. You understand? Or is it that the system is so corrupt that the youths them looking on, overthinking, as well as seeing reality for what it is, and saying them not have a hope in hell of achieving anything, so them grab what them can now. It's a hell of a way to think. Because check this out now, this 21-year-old youth, he took out a man and a woman and wounded two others in separate shooting incident between last December and July this year. Was this afternoon sentenced to life in prison with the order that he served 23 years and 6 months in prison before the possibility of parole. DeAndre Grant, a construction worker of Belfield District, Manchester, and Canaan Heights in Maypen, Clarendon, pleaded guilty earlier last month on an indictment with 13 counts under a plea deal. The charges consist of 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of wounding with intent, 6 counts of making use of a firearm to commit a felony, and 3 counts of assault with intent to rob. Justice Leighton Pusey, in handing down the sentence, accepted the sentence recommendations of the Director of Public Prosecution, the DPP, but credited Grant for 6 months he spent in custody. Grant was given 2 life sentences for the murder of 21-year-old Sunil Mushet and Catherine Matthews. Imagine, that's where your life going at 21. You get 2 life sentences already and the case not finished yet. The judge, however, ordered that he serve 20 years and 6 months for Matthews' murder, but granted the DPP's recommended parole period of 24 years in respect to the other murder. Justice Pusey said the sentence was reasonable given that Grant went on a rampage after the first murder. Consequently, he was ordered to serve 23 years and 6 months before being even considered for parole. Grant was further sentenced to 20 years each for 6 counts of gun charges, 15 years each for the wounded charges, and 10 years for the assault with intent to rob charges. The judge, however, ordered that the sentences are to run concurrently. Hence, Grant will serve those sentences while serving the life sentence. Justice Pusey, during the sentencing, remarks that those serious offenses were more notable because of the young age of the perpetrator, and further that the circumstances of the woman's murder was particularly worrying, given that there was no motive for the attack. The judge, however, noted that among the factors considering in arriving at the sentences were Grant's guilty plea, his fairly young age, the social inquiry report, and the submissions of both the DPP and Grant's lawyer, Paula Gentles. In the first murder incident, Grant and his co-conspirators shot and killed 21-year-old Sunil Meshet, otherwise called Shine, a construction worker of Comfort District in Manchester on December 8, 2022 at about 4 p.m. Meshet was murdered along the Kendall Bridge in the parish. In the second murder incident, which occurred on March 3rd this year, Catherine Matthews, a chef of New Green District, Manchester, and her common-law husband were walking home in their community when Grant and others pounced upon them. The hoodlums opened fire on the couple, hitting them multiple times before escaping into the area. The injured persons were transported to hospital where Matthews was pronounced dead and her spouse treated. Grant struck again at a plaza in Mandeville on March 6, like this was a game for him, where two security guards were attacked by three men, one of whom was armed with a handgun. The attackers then restrained one of the two guards and demanded money. The demands were not met and a tussle ensued. However, the perpetrators fled after a gun went off. Grant's last victim, a mini mart and bar operator, was shot and injured on July the 20th at 12:45 a.m. after hosting an event. Remember now that this guy is only 21. So you see what is happening. This is a whole lifestyle that he has developed. That's the way he planned to live. Just disrupting people's life and taking people's life. It's sad. Anyway, following the series of incidents, Grant was arrested on August 2nd in Westmoreland in relation to a separate incident. He was later handed over to the Manchester police and the charges laid against him on October the 4th. Something is radically wrong in the society. And this 21-year-old is not alone. There's many more 21-year-olds and younger that this has become a lifestyle. You don't see what they're doing now. They're going around, and if you're off guard or they catch you off guard, they try and take your vehicle. And so when they take the vehicle, then go up on pure robbery spree and take out people and rob with them rob. If you manage to survive it, you're just lucky. It's a way of life for these youths. Something radically needs to be done. We can't just be stepping out of our homes, our workplaces, and thinking it's business as usual. You have to be paranoid and cautious of your surroundings and who is surrounding you. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Stay safe. Bye for now.